Today we will discuss analysis of continuous beam by three-moment equation when end supports are simply supported. So these are the different steps how to solve the continuous beam using the Clapeyron theorem or three-moment equation. This Clapeyron theorem, three moments, by using this theorem, you can analyze to any two consecutive span of continuous beam, because this theorem you have to use to any two consecutive span of continuous beam. First, you have to assume each span of the beam as simply supported, then find the free bending moment by using the standard formula. Then after getting this one, you have to draw the free bending moment diagram of two consecutive span, then find the area of free BMT A1 and A2 and the CG distance of the area from both ends support A1 and A2. You have to draw the free bending moment diagram. Then you have to find out what is the area of the free BMT. Then you have to find out what is the centroidal distance of this area from the both end support. Then you have to identify the support moments which are to be determined, that is MA, MB, MC. Because in two consecutive span, there is three moments, MA, MB, MC. So you have to identify the moments, whether if the end supports are simply supported, then at the end the moment is zero. If the end supports are fixed, then you have to take the end moments MA and MB. That's why you have to identify the support moments which are to be determined. Then you know this is the Clapeyron theorem. So using the Clapeyron theorem of three moments for two consecutive span and find the value of unknowns. Using this Clapeyron theorem, so you can find out the value of unknowns. Here there is two cases. The first case, if the beam is of non-uniform section, EI is not constant and no settlement of support. So this case, this is the Clapeyron theorem. MA L1 by I1 plus 2MB L1 by I1 plus L2 by I2 plus MC L2 by I2 is equal to minus 6A1 A1 by I1 L1 minus 6A2 A2 by I2 L2. MA is your moment at support A, MB is moment at support B, and MC is moment at support C. I1 the moment of inertia of span AB, I2 the moment of inertia of span BC. Similarly, A1 this is area of free bending moment diagram on the span AB, and A2 area of free bending moment diagram on the span BC. And A1 is your centroidal distance of area A1 from the support A, and A2 is the centroidal distance of area A2 from the support C. And this formula you have to use when a beam is of non-uniform section, EI is not constant and no settlement of support takes place. And this is case 2. If the beam is of uniform section, EI is constant. Uniform section means EI is constant, means I1 is equal to I2. This case I1 is equal to I2 and no settlement of support. This case you have to take I1 is equal to I2, so this I1 I2 cancel here both sides. So the equation becomes MA L1 plus 2MB L1 plus L2 plus MC L2 is equal to minus 6A1 A1 by L1 minus 6A2 A2 by L2. This is the Clapeyron theorem. So when the beam is of non-uniform section or uniform section, no settlement of support. So using this formula, you can find out what is the support moments. The solution of the equation give the value of the support moments. Then after getting the unknowns, what you have to do? Draw the final bending moment diagram after getting the unknown support moments. Overlap both free bending moment diagram and support moment diagram. Then after cancelling the overlapping portion, the rest diagram is the final bending moment. Because you know that the free BMT, and here you got the support moments. The support moment, this is your negative bending moment diagram. So the positive bending moment, free bending moment, and this support moment diagram, you have to overlap each other. The positive and negative portion of the two diagram will be cancel each other, and the remaining diagram is the final bending moment diagram of the continuous beam. Then you have to find out the support reaction of the continuous beam by analyzing individually span. If there is two span, so by taking two span individually, you have to find out what is the reactions at both ends. You have to take what is the load is given and what is the support moments you got. So by using the load and the moments, you have to find out what is the reaction at the both end of the simply supported beam. Then after getting the reaction, then you have to find out the shear force value at each support and loading position. You have to find out the shear force at each support and loading position. Then after knowing the shear force at different position, then you can draw the shear force diagram of a continuous beam. Then after plotting the shear force diagram, because you know what is the zero shear force position, so at the zero shear force position, you will get the maximum positive moment. So you have to find out finally, so where you will get the maximum positive moment. And that distance you have to find out, and that distance you will find out by taking the shear force at a distance x is equal to 0. At the zero shear force, you will get the maximum positive moment. That you have to find out. These are the different steps you have to remember when you are solving any continuous beam by the Clapeyron theorem of three moments. Then coming to one example, analyze the continuous beam ABC shown in figure using three moment equation and draw bending moment diagram and a shear force diagram. Flexural rigidity EI is constant throughout. So here given the section is your constant, EI is your constant. So what is the moment of inertia of span AB is equal to per span BC. This is your given constant. This is the continuous beam, two span continuous beam, three support A, B, C. Support A is your hinge support B is roller support, and support C is roller support. The length of span AB is 6 meters and length of span BC is 8 meters. This is the data given. Length of span AB 6 meters, L2 8 meters. Load on the span AB and BC. This is the span AB load 40 kilonewton by meter, and on the span BC load 40 kilonewton by meter. This is 40 kilonewton by meter. Then moment of inertia of span AB and BC are given. Same II, EI is constant. But you see, as the end support means at A support and at the C support, this is your simply supported. So you know what is the moment at the simply supported end. So the moment at A is equal to 0 and moment at the C is equal to 0. So here you take MA is equal to MC is equal to 0. Only you will get what is the moment at the support B, because this is the unknown moment. This is the unknown moment, and you will get the moment here. This moment you have to take MB. This is the unknown moment. The moment at the support B is equal to MB. This is unknown. So you have to find out this unknown moment using the Clapeyron theorem. Because here only one moment. So by using the Clapeyron theorem, you will get one equation, and then you can find out what is the value of the moment, because you have to put MA is equal to 0 and MC is equal to 0. Only this is the unknown. So for this unknown, only one equation is required, and this equation you will get by applying the Clapeyron theorem of three moment to the span AB and BC, because there is only two span, and this Clapeyron theorem you can apply to any two consecutive span. Here only two span, so this you have to use to the span AB and span BC. So first, what is the steps? First, to draw the free bending moment diagram of span AB and BC. So free bending moment diagram for span AB and BC, due to UDL, the free bending moment diagram is parabola. You know, this is the UDL. So what is the free bending moment diagram? So for this span AB parabola and for span BC also parabola. So what is the maximum bending moment? The maximum bending moment at midpoint of a span AB is equal to W L1 square by 8. 40 into 6 square by 8 is equal to 180 kilonewton meter. Similarly, the maximum bending moment at midpoint of span BC, W L2 square by 8, 40 into 8 square by 8 is equal to 320 kilonewton meter. Everything is given here. Load 40 and the span is your 8. And for span AB, load 40 and span 6. So you can find out what is the maximum bending moment at midpoint of span AB and midpoint of span BC. Then this is the free bending moment diagram. So for span AB, this is parabola. So this is the maximum moment 180. Then for span BC, this is the bending moment diagram, parabola, and this is the maximum positive moment 320. And the area of the free BMD on span AB A1 and area of the free BMD on span BC A2. And this is the centroidal distance. A1 is equal to 3 meter. So you have to take the centroidal distance for right area. You have to take from the right support, and from the left area you have to take from the left support. So this A1 is equal to 3 meter because this total length is 6 meter. So the centroidal distance of this area is 3 meter, and the centroidal distance of area A2 from the support C, this is 4 meter because this total length is 8 meter. A1 is equal to area of free bending moment diagram of span AB. So what is the area of this one? What is the area of free bending moment diagram? 2/3 into base into height. 2/3 into base is your 6 and height is your 180. 2/3 into 180 into 6. So this is 720. Similarly, what is the area of this? What is the area for this one? A2. A2 is equal to area of free bending moment diagram of span BC. 2/3 into base into height. 2/3 into 8 into 320. 2/3 into 8 into 320. So this is equal to 1706.67. Then what is the centroidal distance of area A1 from support A? 3 meter. And centroidal distance of area A2 from support C, this is 4 meter. Then apply 3 moment equation for span AB and BC. You have to apply to the span AB and BC. Here the moment of inertia is same, constant. So you have to take this equation. This one you have to take ML1 plus 2MBL1 plus L2 plus MCL2 is equal to minus 6 A1 by L1 minus 6 A2 by L2. This one. Now in ABC, A and C is simply supported. So MA and MC is equal to 0. MA 0 and MC 0. Only you have to find out this moment, MB. This is unknown moment. Then this 3 moment equation reduces to, after putting M and MC is equal to 0, this 0, 2MB L1 plus L2 is equal to minus 6 A1 by L1 minus 6 A2 by L2. 2 into MB into L1 is equal to 6 meter and L2 is equal to 8 meter. 6 plus 8 is equal to minus 6 A1. A1 already I have calculated here. A1 is 720, A2 is 1706.67, and small A1 centroidal distance is 3 meter, and small A2 is equal to 4 meter. So you put these values here, minus 6 into 720 into 3 divided by 6, minus 6 into 1706.67 into 4 by 8. So after simplification of this equation, we will get what is the support moment. MB is equal to minus 260 kilonewton meter. This is the support moment at the intermediate support B. Then after knowing this moment, then you can plot the final bending moment diagram. This total is your negative, and this is the free bending moment diagram. So this is positive. This two is positive moment diagram. So here you see this portion is your cancel each other. This portion, this is cancel, and this portion is also cancel each other. So the remaining, this is positive, and this is negative, and this is positive. This is the final bending moment diagram. But here you see this ordinate, the maximum negative moment is your 260, because at the end the moment is your 0. But at the midpoint of the span AB, what is the moment? Positive moment at midpoint is your equal, because you know what is the moment here. For free BMD, you know what is the moment, 180. So this is the, at the midpoint, the positive moment. At the midpoint, this is the positive moment. So this you can find out. So 180, but you have to take this one, because this total is your 180. And you have to, if you deduct this one, then you'll find out what is the positive moment at midpoint of span AB. Because you have to know, you have to find out this one. Already I have explained in fixed beam how you will find out this one. Because here this is triangle. If this side, this is your 260, and if you take this is your X, so this is the same base and this is the same angle. So you have to take this side by this side is equal to this side by this side. X by this distance 3 is equal to 260 by 6. Then you will find out what is the X value. Then after knowing this value, you can find out what is the positive moment at midpoint of the span AB. This you will find out. Similarly, here also, for this span also, you can find out what is the positive moment at midpoint. So because this total is your 320, and you have to find out this value, because this is 260 by 8 is equal to this value. This you take Y, so Y by 4. Then you can find out what is the value of Y. So Y is equal to 130. Y is equal to 130. Then the positive moment at midpoint is equal to 320 minus 130 is equal to 190 kilonewton meter. Here this is 180 minus 130 is equal to 50 kilonewton meter. This is the positive moment at the midpoint of span AB, and this is the midpoint of span BC. But you don't know where you will get the maximum positive moment. You don't know where you will get the maximum positive moment, and that maximum positive moment that you will find out where the shear force is equal to 0. That you will find out after plotting the shear force, where the shear force is 0, and from that you will get what is the maximum positive moment. Then how to find out the reaction? So for reaction, what you have to do? You have to take separately span AB and separately span BC. You have to take these two spans separately. Then what is the load is given on the span AB, that you have to take. Similarly, what is the load given on the span BC, that you have to take. Then here you got the moment 260 negative, and when you are considering span AB, so this negative moment you have to take at the B clockwise direction, and when you are considering span BC, so at B, this negative moment you have to take anti-clockwise direction. So for this negative moment, you have to give anti-clockwise and right side clockwise. Left side anti-clockwise and right side clockwise your negative moment. You have to give the sign convention of this negative moment. This is right side clockwise and left side anti-clockwise. So when we are taking this AB span, so this is right side, so you have to take clockwise. When you are taking this BC span, so you have to take left side B, so you have to take anti-clockwise. So for this negative moment 260 kilonewton meter, this is the direction of the moment. Then separately you find out what is the reaction at RA and what is the reaction at B, RB1, because here you see at support B, so you have to find out what is the reaction from the span AB, and you have to find out what is the reaction from the span BC, RB1, and from span BC, RB2. Then the total reaction at B is equal to RB is equal to RB1 plus RB2. So the reaction at A is your RA, and reaction at B is your RB, RB1 plus RB2, and reaction at C is your equal to RC. Then you have to find out what is the reaction RA and RB1 for span AB, and you have to find out what is the reaction RB2 and RC for span BC. So for span AB, taking moment about A, you have to take moment about A. When you will take the moment about A, so you have to take RB1 into 6, and this is your rotating anti-clockwise. When you are taking the moment of this reaction about A, so this is rotating anti-clockwise direction. RB1 into 6 is equal to clockwise moment, and due to this UDL, the moment is your clockwise. 40 into 6 into 3. 40 into 6 total load, and what is the CG distance? 3. 40 into 6 into 3, and this moment is your clockwise plus 260, because due to this UDL, the moment is clockwise, and due to this 260 kilonewton meter, this direction is your clockwise. So the anti-clockwise moment is your equal to clockwise moment. Then RB1 is your equal to, this is, after simplifying this one, you will get the RB1 is your equal to 163.33 kilonewton. Then you find out what is the reaction at A, because you know the summation of vertical force is equal to 0. This is the equilibrium equation. RA plus RB1 is equal to 40 into 6. RA plus RB1 is equal to 40 into 6. Then this is equal to 240 kilonewton. Then RA is equal to 240 minus 163.33 is equal to 76.67 kilonewton. Then consider span BC. Consider span BC. For span BC, take a moment about B. You have to take moment about B. RC into 8. This is rotating anti-clockwise direction about the point B. RC into 8. And this is given anti-clockwise moment plus 260 is equal to clockwise moment. Clockwise moment due to this load, 40 into 8, and the centroidal distance is equal to 4. 40 into 8 into 4. Then RC is equal to 127.5 kilonewton. After getting RC, to find out what is the reaction at B, RB2. So the summation of vertical force is equal to 0. Take RB2 plus RC is equal to 40 into 8, 320 kilonewton. Then RB2 is equal to 320 minus 127.5 is equal to 192.5 kilonewton. RB2 is equal to 192.5 kilonewton. Then after getting the reaction RA, RB1, RC and RB2, then you can find out the final reaction. So RA is equal to 76.67 kilonewton. Then RB is equal to RB1 plus RB2. So this is 163.33 plus 192.5. This is equal to 355.83 kilonewton. Then RC is equal to 127.5 kilonewton. These are the reaction at support A, B and C. Then after getting the reaction, then you have to find out what is the shear force at a different position. Shear force at different position. Because you see RA is you got here 76.67, RB is your 355.83 and RC is your equal to 127.5. So what is the shear force at C? What is the shear force? Because you are considering right side upward force. This is your equal to negative. So shear force at the C is your equal to FC is your equal to minus RC, minus 127.5 kilonewton. Shear force at C is equal to minus 127.5 kilonewton. Then find out what is the shear force just right of B. What is the shear force just right of B? What is the shear force right of B? This is negative, and due to this load, you take positive downward force, 40 into 8, minus RC plus 40 into 8. The shear force just right of B, FRB is equal to minus 127.5 plus 40 into 8. So this is equal to 192.5 kilonewton. Then what is the shear force just left side of B? Left side of B here. You know what is the reaction at B? This is the total reaction due to this one and due to this one. But you have to find out what is the shear force just left side of B. RB is equal to 355.83 kilonewton. So what you have to do? This is your upward force, means negative. Then this force, what is the shear force just right of B? Minus 355.83. Because already you know what is the shear force just right of B? 192.5 kilonewton. Then shear force just left side of B, FLB is equal to 192.5 kilonewton minus the reaction at B, 355.83. So this is equal to minus 163.33 kilonewton. You got here shear force just left side of B. Then find out what is the shear force at A. So what you have to do? Because this is the UDL, so you have to take the UDL downward force. So 40 into 6. You have to add this one. Minus 163.33. What is the shear force just left side of B? That you have to take plus what is the load given on the span AB. 40 into 6. This is your downward force. So you take this is your positive. This is equal to plus 76.67 kilonewton. This is equal to RA. This is equal to RA. Finally, you will get what is the shear force at B, what at A, and that will be equal to RA. This is the shear force at different position of continuous beam. Then after getting the shear force at different position, then you can draw the shear force diagram. Because this is the shear force minus 127.5 kilonewton at the C, negative 127.5 kilonewton. Downward, because this is the axis, and below the axis negative, and above the axis positive. So here you take 127.5 kilonewton downward. Then what is the shear force just right of B? Plus 192.5 kilonewton. So this is right of B, 192.5 kilonewton, just right of B. And this is your goes linearly. The shear force diagram will goes linearly. This is a linear diagram. The bending moment diagram is parabolic, and the shear force diagram is your linearly. So the shear force just right of B is your 192.5 kilonewton. Then shear force just left side of B. This is minus 163.33. So due to this reaction at B, upward reaction at B, so suddenly here the shear force decrease, and the value is here 163.33 kilonewton. Yeah. Then what is the shear force at A? So this is 76.67 positive. This is also positive. This is also linear. The shear force on the span AB also linear. So here these two values are positive above axis, these two values are negative, so below axis. And this is the shear force diagram. Then you have to find out the maximum bending moment. You have to find out maximum bending moment, because this is the zero shear force and this is also the zero shear force. So at the zero shear force position, you will get the maximum bending moment. So you have to find out what is this distance. You have to find out what is this distance and what is this distance. This distance you can find out by taking the similar triangle. Because these two triangle, these two angle is your same. And if you are taking this is x and this is your 6 minus x. This distance is your, this length is 6 minus x. Then the 76.67 divided by x is equal to this one, 163.33 divided by 6 minus x. Then after simplification, we'll find out what is the position of the position of the zero shear force. And then at that position, you will find out what is the maximum bending moment. By putting this x value, you will find out what is the maximum positive moment. Similarly, for this also, here also you can take two triangle, this one, and if you take this is your y, and this is you take 8 minus y, because this length is your 8, this length is your 8 given. So this is 8 minus y. If this side by this side, because the angle is your same and this is same base, so here you have to take the similar triangle. 127.5 divided by y is equal to 192.5 divided by 8 minus y. Then after simplification, we'll find out what is the length y. Then after knowing this length, you can find out what is the maximum positive moment. You will find out what is the maximum positive moment at that distance, because this is the, you can find out using the similar triangle, or also you can find out by taking the moment at a distance x from the support A and moment at a distance y from the support C. The maximum positive bending moment is obtained at the point of zero shear force. By using the similar triangle, the location of point of zero shear will be obtained, or by taking a section at a distance x from support A between A and B and equating the shear force to zero, will get the maximum positive moment distance, maximum positive bending moment distance. For this zero shear force, you will take one section this side and another section this side. This is the section xx at a distance x from the support A. Then you have to find out what is the shear force here. You have to find out what is the shear force at a section xx. And when you will take the shear force at section xx is equal to 0, then we will find out at the maximum positive bending moment, the shear force is equal to 0. So you have to take shear force is equal to 0. You will get this distance. Then after getting this distance, you will find out what is the maximum positive moment here. First you take what is the shear force here. How many forces are here? Just left side of this one. This is upward reaction and this is the downward force. So what is the shear force here? This is Ra, and due to this load downward, Ra minus 40 into x. Ra minus 40 into x is equal to 0. So Ra is equal to 76.67 minus 40 into x. So x is equal to 1.916 meter. So this is this distance, this x distance is equal to this one, 1.916 meter. Here you will get the maximum positive moment. So the maximum positive moment mx is equal to, you will get here. You have to find out what is the maximum moment here. So mx is equal to Ra into x. Ra is your 76.67 and x you got here 1.916. This is clockwise, and due to this load, this is anti-clockwise, and due to this load, 40 into this length is your 1.916, and what is the CG of this load? 1.916 by 2 minus 40 into 1.916 into 1.916 by 2. So this is the maximum positive moment, 73.478 kilonewton meter. Similarly, find out what is the maximum positive moment on span BC. Similarly, you take a section at a distance y from the support C. So what is the moment here? Find out what is the moment. RC into y minus 40 into y. You have to take what is the shear force here and make that shear force to 0. RC, so right of this section, how many forces are here? One is your upward reaction and this is the UDL. So this is your RC and this is the UDL downward force. Here you take RC minus 40 into y is equal to 0. Y is equal to RC is equal to 127.5 minus 40 into y is equal to 0. Then after simplification, y is equal to 3.187 meter. You will get y is equal to 3.187 meter. Then by putting this y value, this one, this is distance you got y. Then you will find out what is the maximum positive moment here by putting the value of y. The maximum positive moment will be occur between B and C at a distance 3.187 meter from the support C. M max is equal to, here you take the moment RC into 3.187, RC into 3.187, and due to this load, 40 into 3.187 into 187 by 2. RC into 3.187 minus 40 into 31.7 into 31.7 divided by 2. Then after simplification, you will get what is the maximum moment. Mx is equal to 203.20 kilonewton meter. Then after getting the maximum positive moment, so on the here bending moment diagram. So the maximum positive moment you will get from support at a distance 1.916 meter, and this is the maximum positive moment 73.48 kilonewton meter. Then our span BC, so at a distance 3.187 meter, we will get the maximum positive moment 203.20 kilonewton meter. But at the midpoint, this is 190, but the maximum positive moment you will get 203.20 kilonewton meter. Now this is the complete final bending moment diagram of continuous beam. Now you are clear? Here, first you have to draw the free bending moment diagram. Then you have to take the what is the area of the free bending moment diagram, A1, A2. You have to find out. Then you have to find out what is the centroidal distance of area A1, A2 from support A and C. Then after getting the free bending moment diagram, then you have to apply the Clapeyron theorem to the span AB and BC to any two consecutive span AB and BC. Then you have to take what is the moments at the end, MA, MB, MC, unknown moments. If this is simply supported, then you have to take the moment is 0. If this is fixed, then you have to take the moment at the fixed end. And there is at intermediate support, there is the moment. So using this moment, then you have to apply the Clapeyron theorem to the span AB, BC. Then you have to find out what is the unknown moments. After simplification of the Clapeyron theorem, you will find out what is the unknown moment. Then you can plot the combined bending moment diagram or final bending moment diagram. Then after knowing this bending moment diagram, then you have to find out what is the reactions. But for reaction, you have to take separately each span, and you have to find out what is the reaction at the end. Then after knowing the reaction, so you have to find out what is the shear force at different positions. Then you can draw the shear force diagram. Then you have to find out what is the maximum positive moment. And for the maximum positive moment, you have to take the zero shear force position. And after getting the zero shear force position, you can find out what is the maximum positive moment. So that the zero shear force position that you will find out from the similar triangle, or by taking a section at a distance from the support, and you have to take what is the shear force at that section, and when you equate this shear force to 0, then you can also find out what is the shear force, zero shear force position, this distance. Then after this, put in this value, you can find out what is the maximum positive moment. This is the steps. You have to remember these steps.